Okay, let's get started with one of our first programs that we're going to create, just to kind of get us set up with some basics with output and different characters. So I'm going to be making an adjustment here. The file name for this one is we're going to call it Hello Chars because we're going to be dealing with some different characters that we may want to print, as well as some escape characters. So we're going to be building off of the Hello World program that the online compiler sets us up with. So if I run the program, we're going to get our Hello World. I'm just going to adjust the region you can see here. Okay, there we go. So we get our Hello World at the bottom here, just as the coding shows. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this to display some different things. So we'll put some extra lines of text. So we'll do a system.out.println, and then you can say what your name is. So my name is Mr. Stardom, and unless there's an incredible coincidence, that is probably not your name, so you could put your name there. System.out.println. Let's say I like, and then you can fill in something that you like. I'm going to go with potatoes. And then maybe think of something that you've seen or done or read, and that'll be the last line. So system.out.println. I have read, let's say, green eggs and ham. Okay, so if you got that right, what you will get is essentially this here. So I have read green eggs and ham. And then the other 4 lines of your output that you created. Okay, so let's take a look at a few different things that we can do with println. The very first thing that we want to do, and I'll show you this, is instead of a println here, I'm going to do a print. And we'll see what shows up here. So if I look at the top, what it has done is the ln makes it not only print the text, but also go down to the next line. So sometimes we may want to leave a print and use this escape character, so \n here, will perform the same effect as an ln. So if you put this in any of your string outputs, it will skip down to the next line. So if I'm running this again, you will encounter this where it will say, whatever, hello world on your first line, and then skip down. If you want to make this even further, you can put this in the middle of text. Now think about what this is going to output. Try to predict it before you run it. And then we'll run. And then what we'll get, take a look at this, hello world, but it maintains the space here. So because the space appears after the \n, we get the space occur right here. Okay, so what else can we do? Now, the remainder of the information, what I want to do is I want to put a tab here just to kind of move this in. And there's a character for that. There's a special character, \t, \t, oh my gosh, \t will also accomplish this. So if we run that, what it'll do is, I believe it's an 8-character tab. So it puts 8 spaces in and takes that as the tab. So it'll kind of indent all of this information here. Other things that we may want to do, maybe what we want to do is we want to say multiple things that we like. And normally I use forward slashes for this, but because I want to demonstrate what is happening here, we're going to use backwards slashes. So I'm going to say I like potatoes, backslash, note how it all turned white here. So that's a clue that maybe something we want isn't happening properly. So I'm going to say potatoes, and I also like, say, movies. You can see that it turned green again, which is interesting. And I'm going to put a backslash, and I'm going to put coffee. There we go. These are three things that I like. And I want to run this and watch what happens here. So this is a series of errors. Now, what it has done here is it says illegal escape character, and it's highlighted the letter M here. So what has happened is \T is for a tab. It thinks that I am trying to use some special command called \M, which doesn't exist. Same thing like down here, it is asking, oh, are you sure you want to put a \C for this? And no, that's not right. That's not what I want. So that's an error. So if you want to display backslashes, here's what you need to do. The first thing you need is a backslash saying we're putting a special character in. And then for this situation, we actually put what that character is, \. So this whole thing together is one escape character. So what it'll do is it will display a backslash. So if you want a backslash displayed, you have to show \. And there, I get my backslashes in there, although I typically don't use backslashes for this kind of listing, but there we go. It's a good illustration. Now, with this last one, what I want to do is I want you to put the name of whatever it is inside quotation marks. So especially because this is a book, that makes sense. So what I want to do is I want to put a quotation mark here and a quotation mark at the end. You'll see that it didn't put one because it already had one, so I have to put another one. Now you can see, just like in the previous example, it looks like there's something wrong with this because this is green here. This is white, which is green is kind of the string color here for output. And then these two things are green here. This is the same color as like our println or our out. So if I run this, it's not going to like it. And it has a problem with, why doesn't it have a problem with eggs? Anyway, so right here, this is what's causing an issue because it thinks that I'm trying to put in code. So I'll show you what happens here is my compiler thinks that my first string is from here to here. I have some kind of code that I've created in between, and I've got a second string over on this side. So what do I do here if I want my quotation marks showing up? What I've got to do is I've got to put a \, quotation mark. And then for the second one to show up, because you can see the string goes till here, and then this is white, so it's not going to be processed the same. I have to do the same thing here, \, quotation mark, and that gets registered as a proper quotation mark. And let's take a look at the result. Yep, and I've got my quotation marks. So sometimes depending on what you need to have show up, you need to use these escape characters to customize it. And then also this demonstrated the difference between print and println.